You ever see one of those giant cruise ships and just wonder, how can a vacation on a floating city, a total marvel of engineering, be cheaper than a boring week on land? Well, today, we're going to peel back the curtain on the incredible economics and the wild logistics of the modern cruise ship. Let's get into it. It all starts with this one, frankly, insane number, $1.4 billion. That's the kind of cash it takes to build just one of these mega ships, like Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas. And to give you an idea of just how big we're talking, this thing is an 18-deck beast that's almost 1,200 feet long. It's so enormous, it literally makes the Titanic look like a kayak. This isn't just a boat. It's a floating city that holds almost 9,000 people. Which brings us to the big, head-scratching question at the center of this whole thing. With that kind of price tag and massive operating costs, how on earth can you find tickets for as low as 60 or 70 bucks a day? That is the paradox we're going to solve. This right here, this contradiction, is the absolute key to understanding the entire cruise industry business model. We're calling it the billion-dollar paradox. You see, the second one of these ships hits the water, a countdown timer starts. It's only got about a 25-year lifespan to earn back that billion-dollar investment, and then some. Every single second of its life has to be optimized to make money. So how in the world do they pull that off? Well, that brings us to the real secret sauce of their business model, the captive audience economy. Okay, so here's the big secret of the industry. They're not trying to make money on your ticket. In fact, cruise lines will often sell you that cheap ticket at a loss. They're actually losing money just to get you on board. Check this out. The average ticket might cost you around $1,300, but the average passenger ends up spending another $429 after they're on the ship. That onboard spending, that's where the real money is hiding. This whole strategy is built on a really simple economic idea. A captive audience is just a group of people with very, very limited choices. I mean, once you're floating in the middle of the ocean, you can't just run down to the local 7-Eleven for a cheaper Coke, right? As one analyst so perfectly put it, once you're on that ship, your only choices are Pepsi or seawater. And it's that total lack of competition that the entire business model really hinges on. So the profit, the real money, it comes from all the high-margin extras. We're talking about the casinos, the fancy spa treatments, the shops, and especially the drinks and the guided tours they sell you when you get to port. They've got you, and they know it. But, to make all that money, the ship has to be full and moving, constantly. And that depends on this unbelievable, high-speed logistical ballet they call the turnaround day miracle. Just try to wrap your head around this challenge. In just a handful of hours, a floating hotel, a restaurant complex, and a theme park for thousands and thousands of people has to be completely emptied out, scoured clean, and totally restocked like it's brand new. The whole process is just a masterclass in efficiency. At 7 a.m., luggage starts pouring off. By 8 a.m., a mountain of supplies is being loaded on. The last of the previous 6,000 guests are gone by 10:30, and the new ones start walking on board at 1 p.m. By 5 o'clock, that ship is sailing away again. There is absolutely no time to waste. And the scale of this resupply operation is just mind-blowing. For a single trip, a ship can get loaded up with 700,000 eggs. And if that doesn't get you, how about 15,000 pounds of potatoes? It's like a Costco run for a small country, and it all happens in just a few hours. So why the crazy pace? What's the mad dash to get back out to sea all about? It's simple. The sooner that ship hits international waters, the sooner its single most profitable asset, the completely unregulated casino, can open its doors and start printing money. But profit isn't just about speed. It's also about some very clever navigation of the law. And that brings us to our next section, sailing through legal loopholes. Okay, so a key strategy for pretty much every major cruise line is something called flying a flag of convenience. This just means they register their ship in a country with super low taxes and way less strict labor laws, like Panama or Liberia, even if the company's main office is in Miami. But this creates a little legal problem for them. See, there's this really old American law that says foreign-flagged ships can't travel directly between two U.S. ports. So what's the workaround? Well, they just add a quick, strategically pointless stop at a nearby foreign port. A cruise from California to Alaska. It'll just pop into Canada for a bit. This one simple trick makes the whole trip legal and saves them millions.
And this whole optimization machine, this profit engine, it just runs and runs for the ship's entire life. There is no off-season. This is the never-ending voyage. To make money, a ship can never, ever sail empty. So when it's time to move from, say, the Caribbean to Europe for the summer, they sell super cheap one-way repositioning cruises just to keep it full. And what about after those 25 years are up? They don't scrap it. Nope. It just gets handed down to a less fancy brand owned by the same company to squeeze out a few more years of profit. So when you pull back and look at the whole picture, it becomes crystal clear. Every single detail, every egg they crack, every legal detour they take, every flag of convenience they fly, it's all part of this massive, high-stakes calculation designed to keep this billion-dollar machine from financially sinking. Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. Is this incredibly complex system a true logistical masterpiece that we should admire? Or is it a masterclass in psychological and financial manipulation? Maybe, just maybe, it's a little bit